Now, our top story on the show is from Bangladesh, where the main opposition party, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, is threatening to boycott the upcoming elections. Now, if Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina does not step down before the polls to back its demand, the BNP is spearheading a 3-day blockade in the country that has been marred by violence. The BNP has just one demand: the resignation of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, to make way for a neutral caretaker government that will conduct the polls. Now, the BNP says if its demands are not met, it is ready to boycott the polls, in effect implying that its non-participation will delegitimize the results. The BNP had taken part in the 2018 elections without a caretaker government in charge. But this time around, the BNP is reviving its boycott poll pitch, partly emboldened by the United States. That is said, it is implementing a policy that will restrict visas to Bangladeshis who undermine the democratic election process in the country. Now, the BNP is seeing it not only as an indication of pressure mounting on the Sheikh Hasina government, but also the possibility of likely sanctions on it by the US. Now, if the fairness of the January elections are called into question, seeking her fourth straight 5-year term in office, Sheikh Hasina, on the other hand, has repeatedly ruled out stepping down and handing over the reins to a caretaker government. Instead, she has accused the BNP with indulging in terrorism and hooliganism. On Tuesday, she reiterated that the elections will happen like they happen in countries like Canada and India. She asserted that routine government work will not stop. Now, the statement came amid her government's continuing crackdown on dissenters. In the wake of the widespread protests in Bangladesh, several opposition members and activists have been arrested. Human rights groups say the government action is an attempt to intimidate the opposition ahead of the elections. Now, Hasina's main rival and two-time premier, BNP leader Khaleda Zia, is under house arrest on corruption charges. Hassan and BNP's acting chairperson, Tariq Rahman, is also in exile. Now, you see, Bangladesh has a long and troubled association with allegations of violence and foul play before, during, and after the elections. The last election that was widely considered free and fair took place in 2008. Sheikh Hasina won this election by a landslide. Notably, it was conducted by neutral caretaker government. But then in 2011, Hasina's Awami League government scrapped the system after Bangladesh's High Court ruled it to be unconstitutional. The Awami League has argued that the Election Commission can competently oversee fair elections. Subsequent elections in 2014 and 2018 were marred by controversies as well. The 2014 election faced opposition boycotts on the caretaker government issue. Now, major liberal democracies, including the United States and Australia, called for a new vote. But India, Russia and China expressed no problem with the result. Now, although the opposition participated in 2018 election, the vote was marred by allegations of intimidation and repression of opposition leaders, and also allegations were leveled against the ruling party for vote rigging and ballot stuffing. The 140 million Bangladeshis are still divided on the issue of caretaker government, but recent survey says that many believe without it, the election will not be a fair one. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by Haroon Habib live from Dhaka. He is a Bangladesh Liberation War veteran, journalist and a writer. Welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Habib.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, with a threat like boycott from the main opposition party, of course, I want to ask you, do you think Sheikh Hasina will step down?
You see, BNP and his ally Jamaat Islami have boycotted the elections earlier also, but it may be very too early to make any conclusion whether they are going to boycott this time again. The schedule of the election is yet to be announced, and the main opposition is trying to mount, as you have said, the pressure on the government by intensifying state education. Sheikh Hasina, on the other hand, is always saying that she is not going to step down. However, the election, the opposition continue the violent protest, and if they fail to force the Awami League government to succumb to their demands, which is very unlikely, many think that the opposition might refrain from taking part in the coming poll. But I don't think that will force the election commission to abandon the vote. Chief Election Commissioner Qadi Habibul Awal just yesterday said, rather made it very clear, that the commission under his dispensations will hold the election as mandated by the Constitution and in time.
Right. Mr. Habib, I want to bring in two facts on the ground in Bangladesh at the moment. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been accused of vote manipulation and stifling of the opposition's voice. Now, on the other side, the opposition chief, Mirza Alamgir, has been arrested and accused of murdering a police officer. I want to bring in the most important element of any election here, which are the voters. How are the people deciding on who to vote? What are they saying, looking at both the sides of the political spectrum?
No, the main issue of the opposition is that they want the election to be held on under caretaker government. That is, in their views, the caretaker is a non-political, non-partisan government. You know, the caretaker system was a unique system to conduct elections under neutral, non-partisan government. Khaleda Zia's government in 1990 had to succumb to the pressure of the then opposition Awami League led by Sheikh Hasina when massive campaign for caretaker government was launched. But the system was grossly misused by the coalition government of BNP and Jamaat Islami after they come to power in 2001. Therefore, there was a serious criticism of the system. As you have said, yes, there is opinion of the country is divided on this caretaker issue. But, you know, therefore, Sheikh Hasina, when in power again, through the 208 elections, scrapped the caretaker system. The higher judiciary, as you have said, has also declared the system unconstitutional and illegal. Yeah. So, at the moment, there is no provision of caretaker government in Bangladesh Constitution. Therefore, the election has to be held in the way it is held in other democratic countries. So people are definitely divided, and opposition supporters demand that it should be held in caretaker government. The government supporters and other political parties also, they say, you know, when there is no caretaker system in the constitution itself, how can an election be held in the caretaker system? So absolutely. This continuing.
Absolutely. Mr. Haroon Habib, thank you so much for speaking with us here on WION World is One from Dhaka.